Welcome back. After a week of taking a break to pay some attention to some personal issues and some family things, I am back and ready for this as we continue in the Gospel of John. Today is chapter 7, verse 1 through 24. Now we've seen Jesus feed the 5,000 and declare that he is the bread of life. Now the scene shifts to a major Jewish festival, and we see how different people respond to Jesus differently. It was time for the Festival of Shelters, also called the Feast of Tabernacles. And this festival is held in October, about 6 months after Passover. It was a week-long celebration to remember the time when the Israelites wandered in the wilderness and lived in temporary shelters. The people built little booths out of branches and lived in them to recall God's faithfulness during those 40 years. Jesus's brothers were having a hard time believing in him, and they had a serious bee in their bonnet about him and found it very difficult to accept that he was the Son of God. An interesting fact is that eventually some of them would become leaders in the early church. For example, James, who wrote the book of James. But for years, Jesus' own brothers were embarrassed by him. Only after his death and resurrection did they truly believe that he was the Son of God, or he is the Son of God. Jesus had already told his disciples that the world hates him. And because of that, we can expect to be hated too. Even friends and family who are not believers might despise us or turn against us. Luke 21 verse 16 through 17 says, "Brother will betray brother, and parents and children will turn against each other because of Jesus." 1 Peter 4 verse 4 reminds us that unbelievers will be surprised when we no longer join them in their world and in their wild living, and they will heap abuse on us. But 1 Peter 5 verse 10 encourages us, and it says that after we have suffered a little while, the God of all grace will restore us and make us strong. Jesus did go to the Festival of Shelters, but he went in secret. The religious leaders hated him, and they were already plotting to kill him. The more he did publicly, the more trouble they would cause for him, for his followers, and for anyone who associated with him. So everyone was talking about Jesus, but when it came to speaking up publicly, most people stayed quiet. They were afraid of the religious leaders who had a firm grip on the people and could excommunicate anyone who supported Jesus. Fear can shut a person up like that. Many people today are bold when it comes to talking about Jesus in the church building. But when it comes to doing so publicly, at work, at school, or with neighbors, they become shy and embarrassed. Jesus said in Matthew 10 verse 32 that if we acknowledge him before others, he will acknowledge us before his Father in heaven. Jesus gave his life for us. The least we can do is be courageous and preach the gospel. Let's learn what not to do from Jesus's brothers. They were shy and embarrassed by him for years. Instead, let's be bold and let's be courageous. Let's not hide our faith because we are afraid of what others might think. Jesus is absolutely worth it. Thank you for joining me today. If John 7 verse 1 through 24 encouraged you to be bold about your faith or reminded you that following Jesus may bring opposition, would you please share this video with a friend who needs that same encouragement today? God willing, I will see you again tomorrow as we continue in the book of John. And until then, don't be ashamed of Jesus. He was never ashamed of you. And remember, you are deeply, deeply loved. Shalom, shalom.